Hey, Queen, do you ever debate whether you should be a trad wife or not? Do you find this topic interesting or controversial or whatever? If this is you, if you have any strong opinions or thoughts about this topic, if any of this is you, then you may want to watch this video. So, so yeah, I find it really kind of funny, kind of interesting that the topic of trad wife is a thing here in North America or in the Northern Hemisphere or in the developed world. As a lot of you know, I was born and raised in Mexico, and that topic has never been a topic, or it's not interesting, um it's not trending in any way, shape, or form. And it is very interesting to me that it would be trending here, right? So why is it trending? I think it's because, it's like, oh, if you're a trad wife, then it's like the total opposite of being a non-trad wife. I don't even know what the opposite of it is. And the point of this video, what I wanna leave you with is that you can be whatever the fuck you want. It can look like whatever the hell you want it to look like. Because, for example, a lot of you might say, oh, I don't want to be that. Like, no, that's a bad thing to do, or it's uncool, right? So the whole point of this video is that the new trad wife is whatever you want it to be. Literally, it's your call. And you're like, duh, like what? So I've made videos about uh, me having an unhealed part of myself in the past. When I was maybe a teenager, I had the belief that being a wife was like synonym of being stupid, because I grew up in Mexico where every woman is, you know, in their light feminine energy, in the extreme shape of that. And like a lot of the women there are just committed to their biological destiny and nothing more. So I had an issue with that growing up. But then I was able to heal that and realize that that's just that's just them. I don't have to be like that. And very recently I discovered that even I would be okay with just meeting my biological destiny. When I gave birth, I was able to realize that I would be home. That would be all I needed ever. But of course, then I realized that I would be okay. But would my child be okay? Would my son be okay? Would it be the best for him to not have the answers to a lot of the things that he would ask from me, or to not be a role model? Even though, of course, my husband is the main role model when it comes to masculine energy, there's in mothering, there's a lot of things that are you being an example too, in regards to masculine energy, like discipline and codes of conduct, and just pursuing your dreams and pursuing freedom, and being whatever it is you want to be. So it's not for me, it's not for us women, it's for them, the children, your children, that you may or may not want to be something more, and a role model. And you're like, well, then you're not a role model if you are just a mother. Of course you are, to many, but maybe for some of your children not. Who knows, right? But for them, be whatever that you want to be. Be whatever that calls you. And that is literally what I want to leave you with, that being a trad wife doesn't have to be, oh, you're stupid and beholden, like ages ago, like in the 20s. You are beholden and you are negotiating from a place of fear because you have nowhere to go if things go awry in your relationship, and you have to put up with crap because you're afraid to step out, because you don't know how to navigate the world. You don't know how to make money. You don't have your masculine energy developed, so the world outside scares you. And we all know an example of a woman that stayed when she should have walked away, right? And the whole conundrum and the whole debate about trad wife, it stems from that women don't want to be beholden, women don't want to negotiate from a place of fear, and you know from that kind of place. And I had someone recently be like, you just had a child, you, out of all people, kind of like, people wouldn't pinpoint me as that, as, oh, because by the way, years ago, I used to be in the corporate world, right? I used to be known as a career woman. But little did they know that to me, it was just a temporary thing. It was part of the developing my masculine energy while I came up with a new venture, with a new entrepreneurship, ideas. Because my journey here, to where I am today, it was a long journey in that, I was an immigrant here in Canada and blah, 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 right? So what I wanted to say with that is I was being stereotyped. And part of the point of this video is that stereotypes, even though they exist for a reason and there's a lot of truth to them, you shouldn't fall into a stereotype. You should, like, oh, I'm not a trad wife, oh, I'm a career woman. This is stupid. Like, you can be whatever the frick you want to be, right? And the way that looks to me, and the way that I planned it, was I wanted to be done with that part of my life of being in the corporate world, and I wanted to start a venture, something new. So I started a couple of online businesses, right? And the last sort of business that came to me was my coaching practice. That was a call that I was called to answer. It wasn't even a plan for me to do that. It was a call that I answered, right? So I wanted to be in that path before saying yes to the journey of motherhood, right? Because I wanted my trad wife to look a certain way. I wanted to be able to make money while I am at home. Not that I need to, because I have a masculine husband that is a provider and protector, 100%. He doesn't need my help. He's a masculine man. So it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the fact that I am an individual and that I may want to see money as a way to freedom, as a way to realize myself. Like, why wouldn't women have not only access to money and lots of it, but why wouldn't women, like, why wouldn't it be a woman thing to make money? It should be, so that you can do whatever you know what I mean? Like, the universe has so many ways to bless you and to give you things, and to only expect your every wish to be fulfilled via your husband, like in the 20s. Even though it can be a possibility, maybe, you know, there's so many other ways that that kind of stuff can come to you. So why shut that door? You may want, like, if it is your desire to do that, go for it. I think it's very limiting. And for all of us who are uh, freedom, agents of freedom, where we like to do whatever the fuck we want, whenever we want, maybe we want to do other things. So that's how trad wife looks to me, right? Where I get to take care of my baby like all day, all the time, and have my online businesses whenever I want, and work whenever I want, from a place of overflow, from a place of passion, and from a place of abundance, rather than, you know, fear or scarcity, or whatever it is. And I get to design the way my life looks, the way trad wife looks. And I would actually label myself as trad wife, in that I am the feminine pole. I receive from my masculine husband, who doesn't need my help. I can receive from him. And I am the feminine. And I do typical things that are traditional, like gender roles. Like, I love cooking. I love making a warm, fuzzy home and warm dinners. I love cooking and having my family have that memory of me, right? Kind of like, oh, I came home to a warm, phenomenal meal, right? So that's the way that it looks to me, right? My child and my husband don't get to say, like, yeah, we came home and my mom always had like this store-bought stuff that, was kind of lame. No, they get to say something else, but that's the way it looks for me. And this is what I want you to take away, that you get to decide what the hell a trad wife looks for you. Like, you get to design your life. And that's why it's like, it's so funny to me that it would be a debate. It would be like a trend, this topic, like, oh, should you be trad wife? Should you not be trad wife? Should you be fucking feminist? That's kind of ridiculous. It shouldn't be a trend. And it should be the most normal thing in the planet, that you get to decide exactly how you want that to look like. And I decided exactly how I want that to look like. And it's at this point in time, is no stereotype whatsoever. And you shouldn't fall into that stereotype. You should fall into the category of being not only well-rounded, but multifaceted and sophisticated and free to create exactly the life that you want to have, exactly the way you want it to look like. And above all, with the freedom to choose and be whatever you want to be, and always negotiate from a place of power, not from a place of fear in any way, shape, or form, because you get to decide and you get to do whatever the hell you want to do. So don't fall for these trends. Don't be like, oh, maybe I should be the trad wife. Maybe I should be career. Maybe, oh no. Like, stop the stereotypes and be your own design of whatever freedom or whatever happiness looks to you. Yeah. So that's what I wanted to leave you with. That's why I think it's kind of funny to even have this conversation. And that's what the new trad wife is, to me anyway. So let me know in the comments if this resonated or if this has been a topic you have been discussing or looking up in YouTube. I think it's interesting. I think it's funny. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next. Bye now.